celebrate courage, celebrate healing, celebrate every child who's walked through the doors of Primary Children's Hospital and every miracle that's happened inside.
He went into septic shock and Dr. Nielsen literally brought him back to life.
Every child here has a story, and every story is worth celebrating.
I love Primary Children's Hospital. It's the hospital I've grown up in.
And when you need it, it is fantastic.
From the tiniest babies to the toughest teens, Primary Children's is here for every step, every heartbeat, every celebration.
So just knowing that you have a whole team to help you and support you is giving me also a lot of hope.
Behind every child's smile is a team of experts, a community of support, and a hospital that believes every kid deserves a chance to grow up.
To be able to sit there and talk to a geneticist and a plastic surgeon and a neurosurgeon.
I wish I could hug all of these scientists and researchers and doctors that make this all happen.
The care of the nurses, the doctors, everyone around was just, it's hard to put into words.
So today, let's celebrate the victories, big and small. Let's celebrate the kids who inspire us. And let's make sure the next child who needs a miracle gets one. Now is your chance to donate, because every child deserves a reason to celebrate.
Good morning and welcome to the annual KSL Primary Children's Hospital Give-A-Thon. I'm Lori Pritchard, joined by Tamara Vaifanua, Shara Park, and Devin Mashuli. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are so excited to bring this Give-A-Thon to you at home.
This is a really exciting day. We look forward to this day all year long here at KSL, because this is a day where we get you involved here in the community. And it's a day that's important to all of us, because we all have a story about Primary Children's Hospital where we've known someone, we ourselves have had somebody up at the hospital we love and care about, and we all know the difference this hospital can make. We're here to raise money so we can help the children at this hospital and the families that use this hospital.
Yeah, and the theme of this year's Give-A-Thon is Let's Celebrate, and that is exactly what we plan on doing. We've got a party happening out there on the plaza, amazing volunteers that you see here behind us, and they are ready to take your donations and inspiring families here to share their powerful stories.
If you can hear everybody buzzing in the background, the energy is high and the purpose is powerful. And we're just getting started, so look around, take it all in, and feel the excitement and join us. Let's celebrate by giving and helping bring healing and hope to every children at Primary Children's.
And that's really what it's about. There is so much to celebrate today, and not just the amazing stories that we'll be sharing. Throughout the broadcast, we'll be highlighting the incredible work happening every day at Primary Children's Hospital, milestone, miracles, and moments of hope.
Yes, and you can be a part of that celebration right here, right now. We know this community is full of incredible, generous hearts, and today your gift goes even further. Thanks to Hyundai, every donation made in the next 30 minutes will be matched dollar for dollar.
So that means your $100 becomes $200 for the kids at Primary Children's. Really easy to give. We've made it simple for you. Just call 801 KSL Kids. That's 801-575-5437. You can also visit kslkids.com, or you can scan that QR code that you can donate instantly.
And Tamara, I want to make a clarification. Lee R. Jackson Trust, that's actually our matching donor right now. The Lee R. Jackson Trust, who we want to thank generously right now, because that is the matching donor. So let's get those calls in right now.
Yes, let's double the impact and double the reason why we're all here to celebrate.
Absolutely. So we have too many idle people.
Who wants a phone call? Who would like a phone call right now?
Yeah, I want to be busy. At the Primary
Let's
Children's
go.
Give-A-Thon has been a tradition here at KSL for decades. For 49 years, you've heard about it on the radio, and for 42 years, you've watched it on television. Now, more recently, listeners from FM 100 and 103.5 The Arrow have joined these efforts. Since this time, we have raised, get this, nearly $61 million. It is a project we've been honored to participate in, because the work that happens at Primary Children's Hospital is so very special, and it's something we look forward to celebrating each and every year. We love hearing the stories about the children who are helped by the hospital, and we love raising money for such an important cause. So let's get those phones ringing, please, please, please. Let's toss it over to Devin near the phone bank to talk to some of our volunteers who are answering your call.
I'm not too far away. I'm just right over here, and you can see we have a beautiful group of people volunteering today to accept your donation. So we want to keep these people busy busy. And we also want to keep the phones and our website. So if you don't want to call in, you can always go to our website at kslkids.com, or you can call the number at 801-575-5437. I also want to mention that in the next 30 minutes, we do have somebody doubling up what you donate. So if you call right now and give whatever you can, our partner is going to, I think it's Lee R. Jackson Trust, is going to double what you give right now. So we're going to be here for a good minute. So hopefully you can get those calls ringing. I'll talk to these people back in just a minute, but we're also going to toss it over to Tamara. What are you up to, Tamara?
Yeah, way too quiet right now. But hey, if you are looking for a simple way that you can make a big impact all year long, you can consider becoming what they call a smile maker. And this is really easy. You just sign up to give a recurring monthly gift of $15 or more for at least a year commitment. That monthly donation, well, it helps kids at Primary Children's Hospital every single day. And we've made it super simple for you. Just head on over to kslkids.com to get started. And no matter how much you give, you can really feel good knowing that your donation is going to a truly meaningful cause. Because 100% of the money that we receive, it stays here locally, and that is to help children at Primary Children's Hospital. So we want to thank you so much for stepping up and just making a huge difference, because every dollar, every penny, it all adds up. And so when you become a smile maker, you're really joining a special group of people who care very deeply about our community. Smile Makers is proudly sponsored by J&J Garden Center, that's in Layton, a valued community partner in supporting children's health. So let's check in with Shara. She is at the plaza, and she is with the representative from J&J.
That's right. You guys, I'm out here on the the plaza here. We've got a party going on, and I do have Andy and Ben from J&J Garden Center with me. Andy, you have always been so generous to come down here and to make a donation. And tell me what you have here for us today.
So, my own child here, Ben, that's here with me today, it was actually up at the hospital when he was very little. He was diagnosed with E. coli. It was at another hospital, had to be transferred by ambulance down to primaries, and overnight they diagnosed him and got him back onto the healthiness, spent a few nights, and was able to come home.
Wow. So this is really a personal donation for you.
It is. So we wanted to be that Smile Maker sponsor to just give back to what they had done for us there at the hospital.
And Ben, how are you, my friend? Tell me how old you are.
I'm 11.
You're 11. And tell me, what are you into these days? What does an 11-year-old love to do these days?
I don't know.
I don't know. So, Andy, first tell me about your donation today.
So we've got the donation that we do to be the Smile Maker sponsor, but it was kind of that old adage, if you can't put a smile on somebody's face, what good are you?
Okay.
Type of thing.
Okay.
So that's what we do. And then Ben's actually got one from a special person. So.
Okay, Ben, tell me, what do you got? You got an envelope here. Show me what you got in this envelope.
My grandpa, one of the owners of J&J, wanted to make a personal donation.
Okay.
So here.
You want me to open it?
Yeah.
I want you to open it. Will you open it for me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is something very special.
What's Grandpa's name?
Dave Stevenson.
Jay Stevenson.
David
Stevenson, excuse me. And we've got a personal donation here. Oh my, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it? Yeah. Okay, we have got a $15,000 check that is coming from David Stevenson from J&J. That is amazing. Do you want us to give a shout out to your grandpa right now?
Sure.
Will you just tell him, say, hi, Grandpa, thank you so much for this donation.
Hi, Grandpa, thank you for the donation.
All right, we love you, Grandpa. David, thank you so much for this, and thank you, Ben, for bringing him, Andy and Ben, you guys are incredible. This is so fun. Are you going to enjoy the party out here with us? Okay, all right. Thanks, you guys, for being out here. All right, we'll send it back into you guys.
All right, so this is the exciting part.
Oh, my gosh!
KSL Radio, FM 100, our Aero partners, and our Sports Zone. We've all been raising funds all day long for the hospital, and now it is time to see where we are. Can we have a drum roll? Because this is the most exciting part.
I love this.
Starting off, it is $92,350. That is incredible. Thank you so much to those of you at home. We depend on you for these donations.
This is incredible, guys. Well done. We can keep going. Keep it going for sure. Well, Roman sees the world a little differently, and that is really his superpower. With support from Primary Children's, he is thriving.
Your donation to the Give-A-Thon helps kids like Roman shine. KSL reporter Emma Benson shares his story.
10-year-old Roman Alsop is a smart, curious 5th grader.
What's your favorite subject? Well, we don't have anime, so it's probably social studies or art or math.
He is a whiz at history.
Who loves to draw, read, play with Legos, and play Minecraft with his 2 younger brothers.
That's mostly the best.
Roman was diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety when he was 4 years old. At age 8, he was diagnosed with autism.
It was difficult for me to know which direction to go in.
His mom, Megan, says it's been a learning curve.
I'll never understand how his brain works. Autism diagnosis is not a one-size-fits-all.
Roman is one of 25,000 children with autism in Utah.
Autism is defined as a difference in social communication and differences in behavior. When to make eye contact, when to use gestures, how to read others' nonverbal skills. That is something that doesn't really come natural.
Dr. Michelle Villalobos is a pediatric psychologist at Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital. She recommends speaking with your pediatrician if you have any concerns about your child's development.
Once a child receives an autism diagnosis, that opens doors for them to access other supports.
Enchanted!
Roman has received various behavioral and speech therapies at Primary Children's.
We're able to cater to what he needs.
As they continue to find what works best and learn to embrace his autism.
You're not going to find anybody else like Roman.
Megan says while life on the spectrum is challenging,
being a parent of a neurodivergent child can be incredibly isolating.
There are resources and support out there.
I just want parents to know that they're not alone.
And we are so fortunate to be joined by Megan and Roman. Thank you guys so much for being here and sharing your journey with us. Roman, first of all, I understand that you love to build Legos, Minecraft, all those things, and you've been building recently. What have you been building?
Mostly, I've been, so like a couple of years ago, I had a big Lego. It was Star Wars. And it was the Millennium Falcon.
That is huge. Yeah, we all know that's a hard one to build, right?
Yeah, and mostly one day.
Yeah.
It broke.
It broke.
With no reason.
It just happens. It happens. Mom, first of all, being up at Primary Children's Hospital, that can be very hard, going back and forth with school. What was the support like when it came to the classroom?
Yeah, the support was amazing because really, Primary Children says the child first and always, and really that is what pushes the providers and everybody who works for Primary Children to help support. So having that team that I can go to with any questions or concerns, or sometimes just to let me vent, because being a parent of a neurodivergent child can be incredibly challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand, who have neurotypical kids, what it's like and how isolating it can be. So knowing that I have a place to turn to has been more than I could have asked for.
When having a child with autism, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, right? So where did you find comfort at the hospital?
Well, Roman would say he found comfort in the Xboxes that they have on all of the floors, because that's how we kind of got him, to be present in his appointments. But just knowing we can go and to all of the different outpatient clinics that we went to at Primary Children's to see what fits for him.
Yeah.
Because we've done some occupational therapy, and he just did acupuncture with our integrated medicine team, because like you said, it's not one size that fits all. And so having that team to support and help guide me,
that was critical.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely critical. Well, Roman, I understand that tomorrow is a big day for you. What is tomorrow?
What is tomorrow?
My freaking birthday.
Your freaking birthday. Yes, it is, my friend. I love how you presented that to the world right now. How old are you going to be?
11.
11. That is an incredible number.
It's just on TV.
It's on TV. Can we all wish? Hey, we've got a whole studio in here. Should we sing happy birthday? Can we do that loud?
No.
As we toss it out to the plaza. I think we're going to the plaza. I don't know where we're going.
No, man.
We're going to send to the plaza out with a happy birthday. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Don't be embarrassed. All right. We'll send it out to the plaza. Call this number, Lori.
Happy birthday,
Roman, we are so excited for you. Happy birthday. And we are excited here today. We are out here on the plaza. It is a party. Everyone's being quiet because we're on TV. You don't have to be quiet. Everyone make some noise. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Oh, we're so excited this morning because we have Salt Lake City's Rise Up Choir, children's choir with us. And we have a very special guest. We're going to let them sing in just a bit. But first, come on in here. You were a patient not too long ago at Primary Children's Hospital. Luckily, you're doing much better. But tell me a little bit about what your experience was like when you were at Primary Children's.
It was truly so fun. The doctors and nurses were so kind to me. They always were up to my expectations. They were so kind. And I was in a lot of pain at the time, but they made it very, very fun for me while I was a patient at Primary Children's.
Some of the things that you got to do while you were there, because I know they want children to be children. You're only 14. What are some of the things that you got to do while you were at the hospital?
They did have a teen room for me. It was so fun. They have so many activities. They have like a Ronald McDonald room for my family. There were so many kind volunteers to give us food and help my family out while they stayed there.
All right, perfect. Leslie and Kay, thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you. I'm so glad that you're doing so much better. We're going to have the children's choir sing for us this morning as we toss it out to break. Go ahead. Let's hear your voices. Rise Up Children's Choir. Today, we are celebrating Primary Children's Hospital, and we are celebrating children and support their incredible work by raising funds for the children that they care for at the hospital. And we invite you to join us in making a difference. Your donation can help save lives.
Well, did you know that last year alone, the hospital's cancer clinic treated over 2,600 young patients, with many children needing multiple visits each month? That added up to nearly 11,000 appointments throughout the year, an average of 44 patients every single day. Yeah. Now, thanks to groundbreaking advances in treatment, 85% of children diagnosed with cancer now survive at least 5 years, a remarkable improvement from 58% survival rate in the mid-1970s. So let's keep that progress going. Together, we can bring hope and healing to even more children.
And you can be the reason a child gets a second chance and a family gets the help that they need. Pick up the phone. Let's get these lines ringing. And right now, we want to introduce you to a Utah teen whose life was saved by a new cancer treatment and whose future was made brighter thanks to a generous donor.
At 17, Olivia Smart is doing what many teenagers do, playing pickleball.
Oh, dang it.
Baking cookies. And training her dog to do tricks.
High five, good boy, can you go down?
But when she was 14 years old, her normal teenage life came to an abrupt halt. Her mother, Sarah, noticed something wasn't right.
She had bruising and she had black spots in her eyes. She was on a hike and just felt really faint. And I'm like, you know what? We just need to go and get a checkup.
The results were not what they expected.
The phone call came in an hour after the blood test, and it was our pediatrician saying, I hate to do it like this, but Livy has leukemia and they're waiting for you at Primary Children's.
And we just had no clue. So there was probably a good hour to 2 hours before we even got to primaries, and where they started doing more blood work just to see what we were up against.
The diagnosis changed the family forever and tested Olivia's strength in ways she never imagined.
I remember IV team coming in. It was the first time I ever had an IV, and so that was really scary. And all of a sudden, a bunch of doctors were coming in. But then there was this nurse who also came in to hook up my fluids to my IV, and she just saw me going through this terrible time. And I just started crying, and she just helped me and just like told me it'd be okay.
Doctors turned to a TKI chemotherapy drug to fight Olivia's leukemia. But when it didn't work, the family was forced to confront a painful truth. She needed a bone marrow transplant, and no perfect donor could be found. Olivia was the first at Primary Children's to undergo a cutting-edge therapy that eased transplant risks from a near-match donor and offered her a real chance at recovery.
Sometimes I had to step back and realize that I'm still here and I wouldn't have experienced everything I've experienced up to this point if it weren't for that transplant.
Now in remission for more than a year, Olivia is back in school and feeling like a normal teenager again. And the family is forever grateful for the care she received at Primary Children's Hospital.
When you're faced with this life-changing news, the care of the nurses, the doctors, everyone around was just, it's hard to put into words. Just the comfort. It felt like a big hug. This is the best cookie recipe ever.
Olivia's journey is a powerful reminder of life's fragility and the strength within us all. Her message is simple but profound.
Live your life. Do what you want to do and not to be scared to do it.
Well, when you donate to the Give-A-Thon, you really are helping bring cutting-edge treatments to kids who need them most. Today, we are joined by Olivia Smart, her parents, Sarah and Tony. You are truly inspirational, I gotta say, Olivia. I know this is one of the most difficult times of your life, but how does it feel to be a part of history knowing that you were able to take advantage of this treatment?
Oh man, I think it's pretty crazy and it's very surreal that I had to go through this, but I'm glad I'm on the other side of things and I'm so grateful for that.
And you really touched on the nurses that really wrapped their arms around you in more ways than one. Talk a little bit about, why that was so important for you to feel to have that comfort.
I remember getting there and I just felt so confused and so scared, but they helped me feel loved and comfort through it.
And Mom and Dad, when you first heard the word leukemia, what was your initial thought? How did that grab you?
It was so scary, and just so many things run through your mind of what the future just seems so uncertain, and the treatment, we just had no idea. And so part of the diagnosis was seeing what type of leukemia it was, and so a lot of testing went down that first week, and we were able to get a treatment plan going forward.
And Tony, having that type of treatment, was that just a miracle? It just manifested itself?
Yeah. Well, here's our story, because at that moment when we found out about this treatment, it was probably our lowest moment. What happened was when we finally found out we had to have a transplant, unfortunately, we didn't have any relatives that were donors. So we had to rely on a stranger, and we found a 10 out of 10. And for some reason, this gentleman withdrew right before, and we didn't have anybody. They couldn't find another 10 out of 10. So it was at that moment, our transplant team came to us, our oncologists, and talked about this new treatment that they'd done in Philly, and they wanted to bring it here and have Livy be the first. And that was awesome. Just the fact that we were getting cutting edge treatment here in Salt Lake.
Here at home. Truly remarkable. Olivia, it's so great to meet you and to have your parents here and to celebrate how far you've come and the example that you're setting for those kids out there too that could need that little boost. So thanks so much. Yeah. All right, we're going to check in with Shara. I believe she is out at the plaza, see what's going on out there.
Yeah,
Shara?
out here we're still having a party out here. And you know what? I got to tell you, if you've ever been comforted by hanging around a dog or cat, you already know that they bring so much healing and hope. And it's something you can't get from a medicine bottle. At Primary Children's, the four-legged friends are more than just cute. They are part of the healing process. Last year, kids benefited from more than 20,000 pet therapy visits, bringing comfort, joy, and calm to children facing some of the toughest days of their lives. Speaking of smiles, the largest pet therapy pup and most popular is Silva. Is that correct? Silva, a Bernese Mountain Dog, so big, hard to miss, and she is here. She's so beautiful. Programs like this are only possible because of generous donors, and your support brings more than just medicine. It brings love, comfort, and healing in all forms. Joining us right now is Susan, Allison, and Lolly, all part of the incredible team at Intermountain Animal Therapy. First of all, thank you so much for bringing these wonderful animals. Thanks for being here. Tell me about each of these animals we have here today. I already mentioned one of them, this beautiful, big, beautiful dog over here.
And I'm Susan, and this is Kingsley. He's a golden retriever. He's going to have his birthday next month. He'll be 5. He's been doing it since he was 2. I have been volunteering at Primary for 25 years with lots of different dogs.
And who do we have over here? Macy?
We have Macy and Allison. And Macy and Kingsley are great friends. They kind of are dating, we think.
they're dating. And then we've got this beautiful Bernese Mountain.
Yeah. And this is Lolly with the Bernese Mountain Dog.
Let's talk about the importance of having these animals in the hospital and what they do for these children.
It is so amazing to walk into the hospital and see what these dogs do and see the smiles that come. Kids that are suffering at the hardest time of their life, and a dog walks in and they can smile, or they don't feel their pain as much. We were there a couple of weeks ago, and there was a little guy that was getting the staples taken out of his head from a head injury, and the dogs were sitting right by him while he was sitting there, and they were taking the staples out. We do amazing things. Dogs are like angels. They are angels without wings. They really are.
They really are. How often are you guys up at the hospital? How often are these dogs bringing that comfort?
We have 38 dogs from Intermountain Therapy Animals that go to Primary Children's Hospital. This is the Paw Patrol, we call us. We go every Tuesday, and we're there. And I've been going on another day a week, going on Sunday morning, too, just because I've had time, and I love it so much.
Tell me the reaction from the animals. I mean, they always just give love, 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 right? How is the reaction from them?
Oh, they love to go. They get so excited. They get so excited to see each other. And like I say, we're the Paw Patrol. We go together as a group, and it's really cute. And probably one of the most popular things that happens to us in the hospital is we have these cards.
Oh, you collect them.
And the kids collect the cards. We walk into a room and they have like 38 cards on their walls for all the dogs that are there. It's amazing.
That's fantastic, the collectibles. Well, I'll tell you what, these dogs bring so much joy and comfort to the children at Primary Children's Hospital. And one way you can help give back to the hospital is by donating, keeping programs like these going, bringing these animals into the hospital. So please make that donation right now. 801-575-5437. That's 801 KSL Kids. Let's make that donation. Keep these dogs in the hospital. Bring that joy and comfort. Devin, let's get the phones ringing. Let's get it over to you.
I'm trying. We're going to keep the phones ringing and keep the website busy because, of course, you can donate online or you can call the awesome panel of people that we have here, volunteers ready to take your calls. And we don't have physical phones, so you can't really hear them ringing, but they have headphones in. So promise, use our call-in, and we love to hear it. I wanted to toss to Lori, actually, because she's got what's next. But remember, when you donate, it's being matched right now, and it will be doubled. So with that being said, get calling, get onto the website, and now we'll toss over to Lori.
Yeah, Devin, the child first and always. That's been the motto for Primary Children's Hospital for more than a century now. And although the goal has always remained the same, the hospital itself has changed over the years. Primary Children's was founded more than 100 years ago. Back in 1922, it was first located on North Temple, and then in the 1940s, they began raising funds for a new building. Now, children were asked to donate a penny for each year of their age, and 10 cents purchased a brick. The LDS Church matched all donations, And many celebrities help with that campaign as well. The fundraising method still seen in the Pennies by the Inch campaign. Then in 1952, during a blizzard, patients were moved to a new location in the Avenues. In the 80s, construction began on a new location. And in 1990, almost 40 years after moving patients into the Avenues building, patients were moved to the current location on the campus of University of Utah. And then in 2020, Intermountain broke ground for Primary Children's Hospital, Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Campus in Lehigh, which opened its doors February 12th of last year. And although the buildings and physical locations have, of course, have changed over the years, the goal is always the same: to help children.
Absolutely. And when a child is in the hospital, families, they're really facing some of the hardest days of their lives. And the last thing that they should really have to worry about is how to get there or how to afford a meal. And thanks to your donations, the Family Assistance Funds, it provides transportation, vouchers, gas cards, clothing, and so much more, lifting the burden so that way parents can focus on their child. Now, because of you, families can breathe a little easier and kids can focus on healing, hope, and getting back just to being kids. All right, I know we have a lot of activity going on as far as social media and just getting the word out there. So let's see what Shara has been able to find. Hey, Shara.
Hey, you guys, I'm over here in the phone bank. Okay, how many people don't have a phone call right now? Let's see. Oh, I don't like to see that. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but I like to see you busy. 575 KSL Kids. Okay, so 801-575-5437. Let's get those phones ringing. Let's check in on our social media. Let's see what people are saying out there. Okay, I'm going to read the screen over here. We're going to show you what's going on over here. Go ahead. Go look at that. I am thankful for Primary Children's Hospital and staff. They helped my son in 2004 at 6 months old performing heart surgery on his tiny body and making his life so much better. I am also thankful for the staff who performed a heart surgery on me in 1986, which saved my life. That was from Sonia Spiker. Wow, to come full circle from parent to child. That's incredible. Primary Children's Hospital, great. Okay, Miss Taylor here, Christy Taylor, there isn't a better place to spend money. We became Smile Makers 2 years ago, and I love seeing it come out each month, knowing it is going to help kiddos in need. You know what, Miss Taylor, I agree with you 100%. As someone who has had a child at Primary Children's Hospital, I know deep down just how incredible the staff and the hospital is when it comes to helping families. Lori?
Yeah, so of course you can send us your pictures, the hashtag KSL Kids. Don't forget that. All right, this is the most exciting moment because we get to check and see what our new total is because of your donations.
All right, I'm going to step out of the way here so we can see the big numbers. Drum roll.
We're at 92,000. Okay. Now we are higher than that.
129,607. Those are the numbers. $129,600.
Our graphic doesn't work.
It's that big.
But our accountants do, and they've been adding up those numbers. Stay with us for more of our special coverage, our fundraiser, our Give-A-Thon for Primary Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for your donation. We'll be right back.
Stand over here.
All right, welcome back everybody to the KSL Give-A-Thon. Today we are celebrating kids and the incredible programs at Primary Children's Hospital in ways that help, with just not medicine alone, right? One of the most beloved places in the hospital is expressive therapies area where music, art, and dance, storytelling come together to lift the spirits for more than just healing. Primary Children's is a national leader in this space, and we've got balls that are flying around over in this place. Stuff is, we've got a party going on out here, so you got to excuse if we've got things happening right now. Well, this thing, every day, expressive therapies bring joy and comfort to kids through music, art, dance, and storytelling, helping them cope, connect, and feel like kids again. These therapies support everything from neurological development and speech to motor skills, memory making, and even pain management. And here's the most important part. These programs are made possible entirely by donations. That means your gift today can directly help a child heal through creativity, connection, and joy. So don't wait. Pick up the phone and go online to donate. And right now, thanks to your generous, we got a matching donation. your gift will be doubled. So I want to introduce you right now to a young lady who has thrived while taking advantage of expressive therapy opportunities at the hospital. At just 10 years old, Kendallyn's transformation at the hospital into stages of courage, proving that true strength comes from having an unbreakable spirit.
Kendallyn is positive. She's kind. She is happy to be living the life that she lives. She is the most upbeat and charming little girl.
She's a firecracker, very direct as far as she knows what she wants, she knows what she needs to do to get there, and so that's kind of been like the driving force behind her whole life.
Kendallyn was born 6 weeks early. She was a 34-weeker. Initially, she wasn't eating very well, and we just thought it was a preemie thing. And as time went on, we quickly learned it was no longer a preemie thing. Kendallyn was diagnosed with chronic intestinal pseudo-obstruction when she was 2 years old. She quickly went from NG tubes to NJ tubes to G tubes to GJ tubes, and then lastly, we ended up with central lines. Her central line is her lifeline. It has provided nutrition for her. It allows her to grow and to really live the best quality of life that she possibly can.
Kendallyn has complete intestinal failure because she really couldn't survive without nutrition given to her through her IV. Intermittently throughout Kendallyn's life, she's had episodes where her pseudo-obstruction flares up, or when she might get an infection, and then she unfortunately ends up having to stay at the hospital, sometimes for multiple weeks. It's a challenge, but watching her approach to it and her family's support for her, I think that's what gets her through, and she's really done a good job.
I pretty much have done random things my whole life at Primary Children's, but that doesn't stop me from having fun. I go to ballet, I've done Nutcracker, I play with my friends.
Her favorite art therapist is Allie. Allie comes in bright-faced and is so willing to just provide whatever she possibly can for Kendallyn to make her stay better and to improve Kendallyn's quality of life.
Kendallyn is so lovely. I've known her since she was 2 years old. She has learned to be an advocate for herself through her art making, and she just goes for it and makes her art about what she's doing in that moment, or to help her calm down and feel more relaxed in the setting. So she's just been wonderful to work with.
As long as she can achieve whatever goal she sets out, I think that'll be a win.
As she's getting older, she's starting to recognize not only does she need to fight for herself, but she's seeing other kids who are struggling. And so I would love for her to continue to advocate for others and be that fighting chance that these kids deserve.
Hi, everyone. We want to say thank you so much to Jack Erdley. He is matching your donations dollar for dollar. So thank you so much for those of you who are giving to Primary Children's Hospital. We have such an exciting guest with us because one of the things that really drives home therapy for some of these kids who are in the hospital is dance therapy. And Melinda is here with me this morning to talk a little bit about that. Now, you know, for patients, when you think about the hospital, you don't think about dance. That's something that comes to mind. But this really is a therapy that can help children thrive.
Yeah, so dance movement therapy really supports the mind-body connection and supporting kids in opportunities of choice and control and self-expression while they're in the hospital, so that we can mitigate the trauma of being in the hospital in a way that is fun and playful and gets them to move and dance and play.
Essentially, it's letting children be children.
Exactly. That's the whole point of what we do, is we want to give children a chance to be a child and be able to play when sometimes being in the hospital can take away from that chance.
Because this is really, really hard. I mean, this is a terrifying time for these children to be in the hospital. So to have some of that self-expression helps them heal.
Yeah, and actually being able to do expressive therapies while they're in the hospital. Some kids end up saying that they love to stay at the hospital because of it, because it is something that's fun and they can look forward to when they're here.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning here on the Plaza. Jack Erdley, once again, is matching dollar for dollar your donation. We want to thank you so much for calling and giving to Primary Children's Hospital during our Give-A-Thon from the depths of our heart. We thank you so much. Devin is over at the phone banks, and she is talking to some of those volunteers who are taking your calls right now. Devin.
Yes, I am, and it is buzzing in here. I mean, the theme for the KSL Give-A-Thon is Let's Celebrate. So how are we doing, everyone? Yes, they're so friendly. Please call these people. They want to hear from you. They want to take your donations. And if you feel that call in your heart, literally pick up the phone and give them a call. You can also go to our website at kslkids.com, and you can even scan the QR code on your screen. Now, get this. If you donate right now, it will be matched by our next donor, which is Jack Erdley. So please feel it in your heart, help give to Primary Children's Hospital, and keep the party going. That's exactly what is going on in here. So right now we're going to toss to where another party might be going on with Tamara.
Oh yeah, you nailed it. We're going to keep the celebration going. Thanks, Devin. Well, last year Intermountain Health opened the brand new Lehigh campus. It's a state-of-the-art hospital, a lot of modern features, so that way kids can heal better, faster, and with a little more joy along the way. So a few unique things that we'd like you to note. In the NICU, families can stay connected to their babies from anywhere using Angel Eye cameras. Parents can check in on their newborn from their phone. Nurses can even send updates and helpful information. And the outpatient occupational therapy gym, hey, there is a zip line in there. That zip line lets kids just, let loose, have fun, but it really helps them build strength, confidence, and coordination. And if kids need an MRI, well, they can watch a movie wearing special goggles to help keep them a little bit more relaxed. Those imaging rooms, they also look pretty cool. They built them to look like pirate ships and submarines, so how cool is that? Well, the campus isn't just a hospital. It's really a place designed just to ease fear, spark imagination, and deliver world-class care. And with your support, Intermountain Health can keep bringing innovation and comfort to every child who walks through the doors. Joining us is Lisa Paletta, president of the Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital, Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Campus in Lehigh. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have you had some time to just sit back and realize what a milestone you have reached having this campus over a year now?
Yeah. So we've been open almost 16 months, and it was a quick reflection and party at the year mark, but then it's also we're growing, so we need to keep busy. The excitement continues. We're continuing to grow. We're really busy, and so we need additional rooms. We're building 8 more med-surg rooms that will increase our capacity there. So not a lot of time for reflection, just keep going, keep building.
Yeah, and growth really is the key word. I mean, to have a facility in Utah County where we're seeing so much of the growth in the state, talk about the staff. The heart of Intermountain Health there at your Lehigh campus.
Yeah, that's what is most near and dear to my heart. I mean, our campus is beautiful, the inside's beautiful, and as you mentioned, kids feel safe and welcome, and they don't feel like it's a hospital or a clinic. But what makes all the difference are the heart and soul of our caregivers and our providers. They just just love our patients, have so much empathy and compassion, and really are there to serve the child.
And you want to give them all the support that they need to help patients. So talk a little bit about where these donations for the people at home who are giving generously, where do those dollars go to? What type of programs that help the caregivers and the patients?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really the programs of greatest need. Mm-hmm. And so, we talk about our child life specialists, or our art or dance or music therapists. I
love that.
And, insurance doesn't pay for any of that, so that is something that foundation dollars and our amazing donors can help provide, so that we're able to provide all those great services, really allow a child to still be a child, be distracted with child life, playing with them and interacting with them, in addition to those wonderful therapists.
And we're just looking at the images for those folks who haven't had an opportunity to walk through the doors there. The facility is just beautiful. I mean, from the colors to kind of bringing a calming tone and mood to it all, ambiance.
Yeah, it really is. And, we designed it knowing that our patients may be served at both of our campuses, both our Salt Lake campus and Lehigh. And so we wanted it to be a primary children's fill rather than a Salt Lake or a Lehigh fill. And I think we've accomplished that.
Definitely.
It definitely feels like home for primary children's, regardless of the location.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing some time with us. Lisa Paletta, president of Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital at the Lehigh campus. So we are going to check in, I believe, with Lori and Shara and see how things are going as far as the generations and people giving.
Yes, people are being so generous. Mm-hmm. We have some new numbers to share with you. The money you have helped us raise for Primary Children's Hospital, here it is, right here. And it is going up
good.
$131,607. Thank you so much for your generous donations.
This is incredible. This is what we've been raising in just the last, 40 minutes or so? This is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Keep calling right now, 801 KSL Kids, 801-575-5437. We've got that matching donation or donor right now, Jack Erdley. So make that dollar count. Double it up at this very moment. Make that call. We'll be right back.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without.
Welcome back, everyone. We are so excited that you're joining us to raise money for the patients and families at Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital. The hospital continues to be a vital resource for families across this region, and the numbers from 2024 tell a powerful story of impact. Last year, more than 54,500 patients were seen in the emergency room, each one receiving expert, compassionate care when it mattered the most. There were over 18,600 inpatient visits, with children receiving the specialized treatment and support that they needed to heal. And more than 19,000 surgeries were performed, from routine procedures to life-saving operations. Behind the scenes, the hospital's labs processed an incredible 4.7 million tests, providing fast, accurate results to guide care. None of this would be possible without the heart of the hospital, a dedicated team of 6,000 caregivers working around the clock to put the child first and always. That is their motto. These numbers represent more than just data, right? They represent hope, healing, and the incredible difference your support makes every single day. So Tamara, just join me in thanking our viewers and helping us give back to Primary Children's Hospital.
Yeah, Laura, they've been so incredible. It's been amazing to see all of the support, because when you donate to the Give-A-Thon, you're really helping kids like Colt take control of their health and their future. From the track to the doctor's office, Colt Solberg is learning how to take life and his health into his own hands. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at just 8 years old, Colt and his family, they have faced some big challenges, but they've also found big support along the way. They're here now to share how Primary Children's has helped them every step of the way. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. It's been fun visiting with you earlier, but for our TV viewers who are just tuning in now to learn a little bit more about you, Colt, talk a little bit about when you found out you had type 1 diabetes and what was that like? Like, what did you have to do?
So we were on a vacation and we were like just down in St. George, and nonstop bathroom breaks. I always needed water, and then my parents kind of like started to get, they knew I had something from there, so they just took me to my pediatrician. Then they told me straight to go to Primary Children's. And then I got diagnosed a week before my 8th birthday. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
So you're 15 years old now, so you had quite a stretch of having to live with it and manage it. Can you talk a little bit about the program that you're involved in, like transitioning you from teen into an adult and trying to manage your diabetes?
Yeah, so as a kid, or like just a few years ago too, my parents are always the ones who are kind of in control of everything, talking to the doctors, getting me my stuff. And I really just sat there and listened, kind of. But now that I'm at the age where I'm transitioning, I try to talk to everyone on my own, and to try to make some of my own calls, and like try to take more responsibility and charge of my health.
I love that. Mom Jessica listening to Cole now and hearing that, because it is about advocating for himself, right?
Yeah, it's a lot to manage. So I'm really grateful that they're teaching him now, because it's scary. In just a few years, he's going to be, having to do this on his own. So it's really helpful to have all the education and kind of prepping him, and to hear him say that he wants to do it on his own, because it's a lot. It's a minute by minute management throughout the day. So.
And Nate, I'm sure as a father, hearing your son now talk and get to this point, but there have been challenges along the way. But what has been remarkable for you as a dad, and just seeing him grow up and take hold of his future?
Yeah, as a dad, the number one thing that comes to my mind when he got diagnosed was sports. What is he able to do? Is he able to keep running and doing all the things that he loves to do? So that's been the number one thing, to see him to be able to enjoy life, how he wants to enjoy life. And it's been really fun to see him grow. There's some weird interactions in the sports field and court sometimes where we have to run out there and give him some insulin or do something or give him some sugar to get his blood sugar up. But he's been able to manage it really well. It's fun to watch him compete and do the things that he loves to do.
Yeah, what a blessing to be able to see him do that and thrive. And any last thoughts on Primary Children's Hospital and what it's meant for your family?
Just really grateful that they make it easy to get supplies, and we're grateful to have one just a few minutes away from our house, and everyone who works there is just super nice, and they make it really fun there.
All right, we're going to keep the celebration going. Let's go ahead and check in with Devin right now. Hey, Devin.
Hi, the party is still buzzing and we want the phones to still ring. This whole front row is filled with volunteers from Loves and including, yes, woo, energy. We're going to talk to Alan really quickly. Just say, hey, Alan, why do you choose to volunteer?
The Primary Children's Hospital is a fantastic organization, and what they do for children and for the families of the children on one of the worst days of their lives and continued support, it's a small thing that I can do and come and help on my day. So,
is this your first, second year? How many years have you been doing it?
Third year being here.
Welcome back. It's great to see returning faces as well. And now that he's done talking with me, he wants to talk with you on the phone. So please call KSL Kids or 801 KSL Kids, which is 575-5437. Or you can go to our website at kslkids.com or scan the QR code on your screen. Please give to this amazing organization, and we're going to be here for roughly the next hour. Also, if you donate right now, it'll be matched because our matching donor still is Jack Erdley. So really good stuff going on here. We love to see it. And now we're going to toss over to Shara.
That's right. I'm out here on the plaza, of course, where this party is happening. But we want to talk about something important that happens at the hospital, and that is art therapy. I have Allie here, who is an art therapist. And Allie, we want to spend a little bit of time here talking about this because this really is an important therapy at the hospital. This is a safe space for children where they can really channel their emotion when they're going through something really hard. So walk us through what it is you do at the hospital with these kids.
Yeah, definitely. We give an opportunity for that safe space, as you mentioned, and try to help them. It's very traumatic to be at the hospital, and so we want to give them a space to express it when there can't be words. And so we give them a lot of choice and control. We give them a lot of opportunities to verbally express or to visually express or just to get out whatever they need to get out. That could be in a lot of expressive, like moving clay or drawing with intent focus or painting or splattering paint. Whatever it needs to be, it allows a space for that to happen.
Something you would do at home on your kitchen table, you guys are doing it in the hospital room, whether it's at their bedside or a table, like we're doing right here, right now. Like you are doing something right in front of us. What are we doing?
Yes, so today we brought a variety of drawing materials, and so this would be one example of what you could call like a Zentangle or a mandala within the circle. And so it allows with the repetitive marks, you can go into a flow state to help reduce the stress in the nervous system, helps with meditation, or just slows your breathing, so then it's easier to kind of be more present in what you're doing rather than stressed of everything around you.
So those little squiggles that we all think our children are doing, there is some thought process behind that. There is therapy behind that. And this is just one of the things happening at the hospital that there is that thoughtfulness behind. And every little thing at the hospital is, again, it's there for the child. It's a healing process for the child, and art therapy is part of that. So again, when you're donating to these efforts as we're trying to heal that child as a whole. So please, let's make that donation right now. This is just one of those elements. So if art is your thing, donate in the name of art. Let's do that, Lori. Send it over to you.
We've also got a match, too, thanks to Jack Erdley, who is matching your donations right now. Okay, let's get a new total. We're going to push those totals just a little bit higher. Here we go. $145,850. Thank you so much.
This is just awesome. This is great. Keep it going. And it's been just so generous and all the outpouring of support. So.
Yeah. We continue our KSL Give-A-Thon right after this break. Stay with us.
Chris, how do you spell
Welcome back, everyone. Hospitals aren't usually known for fun, right? But at Primary Children's Hospital, there's one very special place where kids can just be kids again. That's what we want. The Forever Young Zone is a place where volunteers play, they read books, do crafts, and provide breaks for parents. Whether a child is facing a long stay or just needs a break after treatment, the Forever Young Zone is a space where they can take a breath, they can play, and just feel normal for a little while. Every toy is cleaned after every session because keeping kids safe while they play is just as important, really, as keeping them smiling. And guess what the most requested item in the Forever Young Zone is? Play-Doh, followed by Hot Wheels, Legos, Barbies, and action figures. The Forever Zone really is a place for kids to forget their worries, even if it's just for a moment. And when you give, you help bring kids a place to smile, play, and feel like themselves. And Devin, that's what we really want for these kids at Primary Children's Hospital.
Absolutely. And we were just talking about how the front row is filled with a lot of members from Loves. Now we're giving the credit due to the volunteers in the back row. We're going to ask quickly, just Amber here from Festival of Trees, why do you choose to volunteer for this awesome event?
Anything that's involving kids deserves extra attention, and so I'm kind of a regular volunteer, so if there's time to sign up, especially for kids.
Good. Please make these people busy. We want to hear the phones ringing. I know they have headsets on, but their phones hopefully are buzzing in their ears. We also want you to donate on our website, kslkids.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen. So please feel the drive in your heart. Donate. And now we're going to send it over to Shara. What's going on?
Oh, I love that plea. Devin, you're doing such a good job over there in the phone bank. We need those phones ringing. We've got this total we've had here for a few minutes. We're going to get an updated total in just a few more minutes here, so let's get those phones going. Every donation to the Give-A-Thon helps a child like Edison, an 11-year-old with a big dream, a bright spirit, and a journey marked by courage. We want to share his story with you.
Edison was our second child out of 3, our middle child, and he's 11 years old, born with Apert syndrome.
Apert syndrome it's a fusion of all of the sutures in the skull and then the hands, I guess the fingers and the toes more specifically. I obviously was watching the birth happen, and it was a bit of it was a struggle. They laid him on Megan's chest after birth, and I noticed one of his hands just was basically like a glove.
But by the end of the day, they had taken him up to Primary Children's.
I think it was very calming to be able to go to a single location and meet with all of the specialists.
After meeting with a geneticist, a plastic surgeon, a neurosurgeon, and more experts, Edison began a series of surgeries. In all so far, his parents say about 35 surgeries total.
We expanded his head, so his bones were fused, right? So he had to put an expansion. That was the first thing we cut off the back of his head, and he had like little antennas, and we pushed it back. And his fingers are not typical. He doesn't have joints. From there, we've just had to have multiple reconstructive surgeries, sometimes on his eyes. He did like a forehead one.
Throughout the journey, Edison's parents say they've made connections with other families going through hard things.
I just think about the parents I've met in the hospital that it's like we think we're going through something tough, and I get in an elevator with a dad whose son is fighting cancer, and I can just see the sorrow. And it's, I don't know, to be part of a community where you can tell that person that, like, hey, we're here.
Although Edison will need more surgeries, his parents know his future is bright.
Our hope for Edison is that he'll continue to dream and shoot for those dreams. He tells me all the time that he wants to be in the NBA, and he asks me which team is going to draft him. And who am I to say that you can't play in the NBA?
For now, the Dunn family is focusing on gratitude for all of the people who have been a part of their journey.
Oh, I actually really love being at the hospital. We've created so many relationships there, and it's a place of peace.
We love all of his doctors. We have great relationships with them. They know them personally. I feel like they check in with us. It's just been a really great journey. I feel safe in their hands.
Well, joining us now, we have 11-year-old Edison. He's brought along dad Josh as well. So I got to get right to the sports questions of it all, because I know you're a huge NBA fan, and it's finals starting tomorrow, game 1. Any predictions?
I think OKC's going in 5.
Ooh, in 5. Okay, I haven't heard that one yet, so we're gonna hold you to it. Who is your favorite NBA team?
Utah Jazz.
That was kind of a dead giveaway, huh? That's awesome. What do you love about sports, and just what gets you really excited about it?
Because it is fun.
Yeah. Well, Edison, I know you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot of surgeries. I see a smile on your face. What keeps you positive and keeps you happy?
Because I don't think I'll get hurt in my surgeries.
You don't think you'll get hurt in your surgeries?
Yeah.
How comforting is it to know you have your family, you have mom and dad, you have the care team at Primary Children's? What's that been like?
It's good. They help me.
Yeah. What is it like to, we just heard from the story there, Josh, about this community of people that you have helping to support Edison. What has that been like for you and your wife?
I mean, invaluable. It's to have people that surround you the way the physicians and the medical community do. It takes a lot of the fear out of the process. There's so much unknown when you don't even know your child's going to be born with a syndrome like APERT syndrome, and the future is so unknown, but they answered all the questions. They set us up for success. So.
Yeah. And you've had a chance to talk and interact with other parents who are going through some challenges as well with their child. What does that bonding then feel like, being part of that community?
It's incredible. I think anytime you can share your experiences or share best practices of how to function within Primary Children's, or show people some way to have success and get comfort and peace, it's massively rewarding. It makes up for all the hard times.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that. I see just positivity and radiance and joy coming from him. As a parent, you're gifting Edison that. What has that been like?
I mean, gratitude is at the core of our experience. I think early on we learned that if we could learn to say thank you to his care providers, that it would not only change the way we had an experience, but it would hopefully have an impact on the experience that they were providing. Yeah. And so gratitude is at the core of what we do.
So today we're here for the Give-A-Thon. There's people watching at home and seeing Edison's story just light up the screen. How crucial is it to get those donations? What does that mean for families like yours?
I mean, without the hospital, it would be a sad state of affair. I think anybody who can make a contribution to Primary Children's, they fund people who are there to, whether it be social services or contributing to the actual medical care. It's so necessary. I don't know what we would do if we couldn't get care for our child. And look, once upon a time, you'd max out your insurance and care would have ended for him. And we have an opportunity now to continue on, whether it be through insurance, through Shriners, or through Primary Children's. There's always a way to find care for him, and we're so grateful that Primary Children's is a resource to us.
So comforting. And we are celebrating you. We're celebrating you, Edison. Thanks so much for sharing your story. And you heard it here first, the prediction, OKC in 5?
Yeah.
All right, you
Let's
heard it
go,
right there,
OKC.
Edison. All right. Okay, let's check it with Lauren. See what she's
I'm
up
a
to.
Thunder fan. I will back that 100%. Okay, we have been having so much fun out here on the plaza with Rocky Mountain Strings here. They have been traveling all over, even in Italy. And
They're so talented.
Right?
We actually, before you guys came to us out here, we've had each of them giving us a little performance. They're from all over the Wasatch Front. And you know what? Everybody, we've talked about this. Everybody has their own unique story with Primary Children's Hospital. And we actually have one of their performers who has been at the hospital. We've got Ivy Glenn here. Ivy, you've had your own experience at the hospital. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically around a year ago, I had an injury with my hands and I couldn't play the violin. I couldn't even really write or hold utensils the same. With their care and support, I was able to make a full recovery, and now thanks to them, I get to play my violin for you guys today, and I'm just so grateful for them.
Well, you went to Italy to be able to play for people there as well.
This is so beautiful.
It was, I'm sure, absolutely incredible. And as a violinist, to have an injury, to take something like that was your talent, something that you rely on, that must have been really hard.
It was so hard. Like, I just always miss my violin, and I'm just so grateful that because I had like so many of their care and support that now I can just play again, and it's just such a great opportunity to have.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to have you all play for us.
Are you guys ready for this?
I mean, I know we're not Italy, but hey, this is where you want to be right now as we raise money for Primary Children's Hospital. So what are you going to play for us?
We're going to play Millionaire's Hoedown.
Okay.
All right.
You guys ready for this? Okay, now's the moment. We'll get out of your way for you.
They'll bring the camera over here, so. All right, well, welcome in. I finally got to come hang out here at the plaza, getting in on the celebration. I want to introduce you to Melinda, a dance therapist at Primary Children's. You are going to put me in motion, and you know, I know a lot of it is with the kids and getting them moving around and active. Just talk a little bit about some of the things that you do for them to get them moving.
Yeah, so one of the things we do is we use some ribbons. It's really fun to dance and play with, and gets kids moving and in a way that they want to move, because they can just do whatever they want with the ribbons. So you can go around your head, you can go forward. Some of the kids really like to fight together, and we shake them really fast and then try to grab it or like wave it. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do with ribbons. It's one of the many tools that we use.
What does it do for you as their therapist, and just like seeing them? Do you get shy ones that are just kind of like in their shell and not quite wanting to get out there?
Yeah, so with the shy kids, we might use some bubbles, or we can continue using the ribbons, and we just kind of like shake it, get them small, and then gradually they begin to move and open up. And so it really lets them to begin to open up when they're feeling a little shy.
It certainly helps with like their mental health and just getting out and being active. And so you talked about the bubbles.
Yeah, so we grab one. So bubbles are also great for kids who can't move as much, and they can really focus on moving their breath, or they can wave it, and it's impossible not to move and pop the bubbles. And moving away from me now, so you can't like pop them. But we all love bubbles, and it's a really easy way to get kids moving, especially like you said, when they're feeling kind of shy or when they can't move as much. Bubbles or ribbons are great ways to go.
How rewarding is it for you, though, just to kind of see their growth and just to get them moving? And I mean, you just see them kind of light up.
Yeah, it's really fun. One of our main goals as dance therapists is to mitigate the trauma that they have in the hospital. And dance therapy is one of the things that is free for them, and it's paid for through the donations, so that they can really just let go and have fun and be a child and be able to play.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Melinda. Great meeting you. All right, we got this down, the dance therapy here, but let's check in with Lori, not too far from me, from the plaza. Keep the celebration going. Hey, Lori.
Hi, Tamara. So I'm in front of the hoops, and there's a reason why. From the dance floor to the NICU unit, we want to introduce you to Grace. She's a Utah jazz dancer and NICU nurse who proves passion knows no limits, inspiring others with every step.
My name is Grace. I'm 22, and this is my first year on the Utah Jazz Dance team. Favorite memory of this year so far is opening night, getting to run out on the floor for the first time and seeing my family and all the fans. It was just so exciting. I currently work as a nurse in the newborn ICU, so I get to work with the babies. I think a positive impact is what I want to take away from my profession and from dancing. I just love to make people feel their strongest that they can be in whatever situation that they're in. My advice for young dancers is no dream is too big, and you'll never regret taking a chance on yourself and your dreams.
Grace is here with me, and you've had a lifelong passion for dancing, but you also had a calling to be a nurse. Kind of explain to us how those two coincide.
I just find so much joy in both. I've been dancing since I was 3, and I knew I wanted to work in critical care since I was really young, and pursuing my education with dance. I danced in college while pursuing my nursing prerequisite. I came up to the University of Utah to pursue my nursing career, and also was asked to join the Utah Jazz Dance team, and so two really just came together, and it's just been a lifelong dream and a lifelong goal that I've reached.
Okay, so let's talk about your work with the Utah Jazz, being a dancer. What is that like?
It's so amazing. Since I've been dancing since I was so little, I've always wanted to just pursue higher dancing career and be a professional dancer. And for that dream to become a reality, I'm just so grateful every day. My support system has really gotten me through managing dual careers, and my mom, my family, my friends, my coach, all my coworkers and managers, their support, their flexibility, and just their love for me and support for me have really just pushed me to limits I didn't even know I had. So.
And also too, you probably, I would say, have one of the best jobs in the world, and that is being a NICU nurse. Tell me about the babies.
I love the babies so much. I truly just fall in love with each and every one of them, and me being able to show joy and just give positive energy in some really critical and intense situations where I can just kind of be either a shoulder to cry on or someone to celebrate with. I just absolutely love it. I love dancing with them. You'll always see me dancing in the hallway with them, and I just love it. So I kind of incorporate dance into NICU and just my love for people and children into dance.
Oh, Grace, it was so fun talking to you. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Of course, thank you so much.
All right, we got to get to the phone bank, because the most important thing, the reason why we're here, is to take your phone call so we can raise as much money possible for Primary Children's Hospital. Devin, how are those phones looking?
Hopefully the phones are sounding loud. How's it looking, everybody? Are the phones coming in? Are the calls coming in? Right? Woo! Woo! Okay. They're busy on the phone. Please keep them busy. I'm here with Mag, and you have been here for a couple of years, right? You volunteer. Why do you keep coming back?
It's a great thing for morally, just going around getting money for the kids, and then also I have nieces and nephews that have also been to Primary Children's, so I don't mind giving back.
Yeah. Thank you guys, everybody, for giving your time. Please keep them busy. She needs to put her headset back on and help out so we can get the phones coming in or people calling. Also, you can go to our website, kslkids.com, and now we're going to check in with Shara.
I was a little worried that our volunteers over here were sad because our phones weren't ringing. So I asked one of the animal therapy dogs here, Silva, to come over and bring some joy to them because we need the phones ringing. And look at this face, you guys.
How are you feeling today?
Can we please get the phones ringing for Silva over here? This therapy dog is the most beautiful dog I have ever seen in my life, and she is so sweet.
I know.
Can we please? Oh, I know you just want to go love
my
them.
gosh, she's camera shy.
Okay. I'm gonna let her go over here. I'm gonna hand off the leash. Okay.
There she goes.
We're supposed to go over to the board and tell you how much money we've raised. Thank you very much, Silva. She's running away. Please give us a call. 801 KSL Kids 575-5437. Let's check on our board. Where are we at in terms of how much money we've raised so far? Thanks to you. Our total right now, wow, it's going $151,530. Thank you so much. Yes. We're doing it because of you, but we can do it. We can do more. Let's get it going.
We're not done.
We're not done. We have that matching donation, Lee R. Jackson Trust. Let's get that money in. Let's double it up. Let's get those phones ringing as we toss to this break, but stay with us. We've got more. We'll be right back.
Sure are.
Welcome back to the KSL Primary Children's Give-A-Thon, where you have a chance to meet the faces behind the care that is given at the hospital. She's Miss Utah 2024, but Paris Matthews is also a child life specialist at Primary Children's Hospital, where she brings comfort, she brings courage to those young patients. She's using her crown and her profession to champion healing through fun and play. So great to meet you.
So great to meet you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and you were just telling me that you actually volunteered for Primary Children's, which kind of led into this profession, this career of wanting to help. Tell me a little bit about that journey.
I was a freshman in college, started volunteering in the oncology clinic, and I was helping child life specialists provide play opportunities for the kids while they received chemotherapy. They were doing crafts and play activities, and I changed my major that very day, fell in love with child life. And since then, I've graduated and I've been a child life specialist for 4.5 years. I currently work in the emergency department. I actually just came from there from working, and it's my passion in life. I love promoting about play in the hospital and advocating for these kids.
Wonderful. And you kind of mentioned before that you feel like you may be living this double life. You're like scrubs in the ER by day, crown and sash by night. How are you balancing those two worlds? It sounds like you've been able to kind of melt it together and make it work.
Yeah, I actually just went to Seacrest Studios as Miss Utah, and some of my patients were there, and they don't recognize me because I don't wear makeup to the emergency department ever. But it's just my dream come true to be living this double life. But I'm the same person in both roles. As a child life specialist, I'm passionate about play and helping hospitalized kids. And as Miss Utah, I'm passionate about play and helping hospitalized kids. So although it gets a little busy and stressful, it's my two passions all in one, advocating for these kids.
And what's it like to get to, it probably doesn't even feel like work to you. Like you get to like interact and bond with these kids. I'm sure they just adore you.
Watching a kid come into the ER so nervous, they don't know what's going to happen, and empowering them, educating them, and coaching them through their procedure, through play, and then they feel empowered when they finally do it and realize they did the hard thing is really fulfilling for me and really special to see every day. And of course, I get to do all the fun stuff, the play, the slime making, the I Spy, you name it, I'm playing with it, and I couldn't be more grateful for this job.
Well, you're using this platform. You have an opportunity here on TV just to talk to the viewers and tell them just how crucial their donations are right now.
Yeah, these donations benefit these kids and the families in very vulnerable situations they never would think to find themselves in. And also for the play items for these hospitalized kids, the slime, the Play-Doh, the coloring books, the crayons, and it makes the hardest stuff just a little bit easier. So that's why the donations matter.
Yeah, Paris Matthews, Miss Utah, thanks so much for your time and for the help that you're doing with the kids there at Primary. All right, we want to check in with Shara and Lori, I believe, and see what's happening there. A lot of celebration continuing on.
Yeah, that's right. You know, she's not kidding. I worked on the kids' crew. I volunteered, and we would have to wipe down every single toy after every interaction, and that takes time and money to be able to do that. So, you know, every penny counts.
It does. That's why we rely on you right now.
Yep. Okay, we want to look at some of the social media that's been happening out there because we know you've been weighing in on how this has impacted your life. So Lisa here, the hospital saved my son's life many years ago and in turn saved mine. As a mother, we can all relate to that, right? I'm forever grateful. Lisa, we understand that. Thank you for sharing that.
And Connie sums it up. The most amazing place, and I think we can all agree we're so grateful to have Primary Children's Hospital in our backyard.
Send us your pictures, your stories. Use the hashtag KSL Kids. We love hearing them because we've all had that moment where we've had to end up at the hospital, or we know someone who's ended up at the hospital and feel that connection to this hospital. So share your story with us. We'd love to read those experiences.
And we know every child deserves a chance to heal when they're sick or experiencing a health crisis. But for many families, the cost of life-saving treatment can really feel impossible, and that's why your donation matters so much. When you give, you're not just donating to a hospital, you're actually giving families hope. In 2024 alone, more than 11,800 patients received critical financial assistance, and that means fundraising efforts provided more than $7.5 million in financial support, lifting a huge burden for families and helping kids focus on getting better, because really that is the bottom line here. We want those kids to get better, and that's why we rely on your money, your donations, so we can keep this hospital going and running and keep those families healthy.
Let's keep this Give-A-Thon going. Let's get the phones ringing. 801 KSL Kids, 575-5437. Let's get that matching donation. Lear Jackson Trust, thank you very much. So $20 becomes $40. $40 becomes $80. Let's stretch your money and get that money to Primary Children's Hospital. Devin, let's check in with you.
Sherry, you couldn't have said it better. It's so important to call right now because of our matching donor. Literally what you give on the phone right now will be doubled thanks to Lee R. Jackson Trust. Now, really, when you get on the phone, all you have to do, you can give your name, you can give a story, or you can do it anonymously. It can just be a one-time donation, or it can be a monthly donation. Do it in your heart. Feel it. We've been an hour and a half in so far for this broadcast, and we would love for you to keep these people busy and call them. If you don't want to call on the phone, you also could go to that QR code. Scan the QR code on your screen and donate at kslkids.com. What you give truly matters. And we get to hear these stories from people. Your donations have impacted so many people. Imagine one day, like this story, that your child had lost the ability to walk. That was Hallie's reality until care at Primary Children's changed everything. Today, she's running races, and your donations make stories like this possible.
I remember the first day Hallie walked again. It was probably 2 weeks after her surgery, the first time she was able to move her leg again. And we didn't know if she would ever be able to move anything on her left side.
So when I was 9 years old, I just started getting headaches, and they just got worse and worse and more increasing.
Her right eye would kind of start to swell and droop a little bit, her eyelid. And so we ended up eventually getting an MRI done, which showed that she had a pituitary tumor on her brain.
It was a little scary not knowing what was going on, and it definitely made me feel really nervous.
She had one surgery done a few months after that to try and remove the tumor, and they were able to remove most of it, but within like 6 months' time, it had completely grown back.
So then we had to do another surgery, and it was a little scary this time. And as they were removing it, it was like a little brain bleed, and it squished some of the nerves that controlled my left side.
During her second surgery, there was some bleeding, hemorrhaging, kind of like a stroke, and she ended up with her entire left side was completely paralyzed when she came out of surgery. We were at Primary Children's Hospital for a while. She was doing inpatient rehab therapy there, but we knew that it was going to be coming up that she would have to spend weeks there doing radiation and stuff and just the back and forth. So when we were ready to come home from the hospital there, they wanted us to be able to travel to Twin to doctors or things like that, but we'd already done so much traveling and things that I just decided to call around here in Burley and see what there was. And I was able to talk with Katie at Kaja here, and she felt really confident that she was going to be able to help us with Hallie.
So in rehab, I work with Katie for PT and Kristen for OT. They definitely pushed me quite a bit, and I'm usually pretty exhausted afterwards, but they're super nice and understanding, and it makes it easier.
The best part of my job is seeing kids improve and be able to do more and more and more, and Hallie has made so much progress in the last few months. It's been so fun to watch her go from where she was at the beginning with having to use the wheelchair and the cane to now being able to walk independently and run a kids race.
A few months ago, we just saw the signups for the Tater Tot Trot, and Hallie thought it would be a fun way for something for her to look forward to.
It's kind of been fun. Like every time I go, I can go a little bit further on the walking path. So it makes me just feel so happy to see how much progress I made. It's definitely made me a little more stronger and positive of myself.
So glad that she made progress and she feels strong. Up next, a performance that is as powerful as it is personal. Sarah is here. She's a music therapist at Primary Children's Hospital and is taking the stage with a song that's become a source of strength for many of your young patients. Thanks so much for being here with us this afternoon as we're raising money. Sarah's going to be singing I'm Still Standing. Why does this song give your patients so much power, you think?
Well, it's a song all about overcoming. It's a song about despite all of the obstacles that you're facing, you get back up again and you keep going. And so often, it's the goal to just keep going. And so I'm Still Standing is a great, on top of being from a very popular children's movie, is also just a really big song of hope for these kids.
And that is hope. That is something that we want to give every child, and every gift of yours makes a difference. And I just want to mention that Hyundai is matching your gift dollar for dollar. So please pick up the phone and call 801-575-5437 or 801-KSL Kids. Now you're going to sing for us. I would love to join you because I am one of those people that love the power of song. I just can't sing.
That's okay.
So, Sarah, I'm going to let you do that.
Okay, I might need some help with some yes.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I'll be in the background. Okay, take it away. Sarah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. It's like blood like when it freezes just like ice. There's a cold only light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. Don't you know that I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my mind without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah. And we're still standing, yeah. And we're still standing, yeah. Great job!
Well done! I tried the yeahs, but Shara Park over there told me to stop.
I thought it was gorgeous. I don't know.
Oopsie. Okay, so thanks so much for that performance and letting me chime in.
Of course.
Even though I was cut off by Shara Park. But we're not cutting you off. Please keep calling. Hyundai is matching your donations. We will be right back with more from Primary Children's Give-A-Thon. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We are out on the plaza here. We are celebrating children at Primary Children's Hospital. We are raising money for our Give-A-Thon. We are so excited.
It is so fun. We have had so much fun already, and we've raised a lot of money thanks to donations from you. We want those donations to keep coming in. So that number, 801-575-5437. Please, if you can donate $10, $20, whatever that is, we appreciate that donation.
And we appreciate Hyundai for also matching your donations. Now, of course, we know that Primary Children's Hospital is in our backyard. It's right here in Salt Lake City, but so many children from all across the Intermountain West come here. Primary Children's Hospital serves far beyond Utah's borders. Their reach extends across the Intermountain West. We're talking Alaska, Nevada, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. Families from across this vast region turn to Primary Children's Hospital when their children need expert care. And that's a service area of, get this, Shara, more than 400,000 square miles. That's nearly 10% of the entire United States. So no matter how remote the community, they're committed to bringing world-class pediatric care closer to home.
Well, you're looking at the map there. Look at just the geographical area that they cover. And you see Life Flight flying across the valley, not knowing where it's going at any point in time, but it is going in all directions, bringing kids here to the hospital. That is so critical. You think about the care that these children are receiving. Now, within the walls of Primary Children's Hospital, something remarkable, of course, happens every single day. Children who arrive as patients leave as something so much more, and your donations make all of that possible. So take a look at how the hospital is really impacting these kids.
It's good. Go and turn it on, make sure it cycles correctly.
Primary Children's Hospital. I've been to a couple other hospitals and there's none quite like it, I'd say. I definitely I love Primary Children's Hospital. It's the hospital I've grown up in.
For Henry, who received 2 kidney transplants, his medical journey sparked a desire to become an EMT.
Throughout all my experiences, I really just, I think I kind of know what it's like, and I want to go help people. And I feel like with me, having the experiences I do, I can sympathize with a lot of people and help them through what they're going through.
Dad, you tweet with me.
Okay, let's go. Edison Dunn, born with Abert syndrome, has undergone countless surgeries. His family found more than medical care at Primary Children's Hospital.
We've created so many relationships there, and it's a place of peace. Certainly we go there for surgery and things that we don't look forward to those things, but what we do is that we know that it's a safe place.
For Olivia, diagnosed with leukemia at 14, her experience opened new horizons.
I think just kind of living through this medical journey, I get to see all the other occupations people have, and it kind of opens my horizon of things I'd want to potentially do, and I think medical is that path.
This is the ripple effect of Primary Children's Hospital. Children who once needed healing become healers themselves. Families who receive support offer empathy and support to others. Your donation to the hospital doesn't just provide medical care, it creates future caregivers, advocates, and champions who will change countless lives tomorrow. This is the true legacy of Primary Children's Hospital.
We are having so much fun this afternoon with the Rise Up Children's Choir. We were teasing them. I asked them if I could join the choir, and they said yes, and Cher said no.
You keep telling people I tell you no, but the truth is I love Lori Pritchard. I just know our limits, Lori. We don't belong in a choir.
No, we really don't, but these kids sure do.
They do. They're so talented.
They were here last year with us, and we're so happy to see your faces again. Are you excited to help us raise money for Primary Children's Hospital? Yeah!
I've got to ask, I remember asking this last year, how many of you have had an experience or know somebody who's had an experience at Primary Children's Hospital? Yeah, look at this, you guys. When you look at this, you have a friend, a family member, anybody have their own personal experience at the hospital? Yep, one over here. Can I ask you, you had an experience? Over here you did? Tell me about your experience. Is it you right here?
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience at the hospital.
So I got diagnosed with celiac disease a year ago, and it was really hard because I was in the emergency room every night at like 3 a.m. and it really was painful, but I knew I was in a safe place. So
you knew you're in a safe place. You guys, this is what Primaries is about, right? We know that our children are taken care of, they're safe. They know that when somebody tells them you're going to Primaries, you feel comfortable going there because you know you're going to be taken care of, right? Well, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you being here, don't we, Lori?
Yes, we appreciate all of you who are donating right now. Pick up those phones. 801 KSL Kids is the number to call, and Hyundai is matching your donations right now, dollar for dollar. So whatever you can give, please do.
Okay, so what are you guys going to sing for us today?
Mountain.
Mountain. They gave us a little preview before we came out here, so you guys ready to sing? Yeah. Okay, oh, there's the cue. Take it away, kids.
I'm a fighter, I'm a fighter, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter, it's like I was born to be one. Rough seas might pull me under and dark clouds might dim my days, but there's always bright tomorrows when I close my eyes and remember how you've made it through the
What an incredible song. And just think about what your dollar can do and how it goes to organizations like that and how it can help lift these kids up. Your donations go so far at Primary Children's Hospital. We are in the final minutes of our broadcast, so now it is more important than ever to call the phones. Go online at kslkids.com. You can scan the QR code whenever you see it on your screen. And what you pay right now when you call in or go online, it is going to be doubled. We have our matching donor of Hyundai right now. So please let your dollar get stretched even further for this incredible organizations. We've seen so much in this broadcast. It truly is so moving here, and what we can do at this KSL Give-A-Thon for the children at Primary Children's Hospital. And we're not done yet. Tamara, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Devin. Well, for our next story, he has been told you can't more times than he can count. But Jacob Packer is proving otherwise. Diagnosed with a rare terminal disorder at the age of 3, Jacob's journey is one of grit, gratitude, and unstoppable courage.
Jacob definitely has grit that is undeniable. He puts everything into what he does.
He has just always taken the time to stop and look at the beauty that surrounds him.
So I was diagnosed with mucopolysaccharidosis type 6 when I was about 3.5. It just makes my muscles grow faster than my bones do.
We knew that it was going to be a hard road. We didn't know what it was, but we did learn that this is a long-term terminal disorder, that the treatment's not perfect. It's not a perfect cure, that there was a treatment at least, and that it will help him to live longer and have a better quality of life while he's with us.
One of the first things that he had to do was he had neck surgery where he had his spine fused to his skull, and he was in a neck brace and he was in a lot of pain. But knowing from our perspective that if he didn't have the surgery, he would have been paralyzed.
When Jacob was around age 9 or 10, he asked me on the way to the hospital, he said, "Dad, what would happen if I stopped having these infusions?" And Vanessa and I had never talked to him about the lifespan of a kid with MPS 6. He said, "Well, Jacob, you won't live as long." And he asked, "Well, how long is long?" And I was like, "Well, without treatment, maybe late teens, early 20s. With treatment, it could be a lot longer." And his response to that was just so positive, that he decided just to move forward with it and to make his life the best that he could while he gets to have it.
As a mom, I had a hard time with at first when he had his diagnosis. I wanted to keep him in a bubble and keep him safe and keep him protected. And I kind of did. And I realized that's not going to help him. That kind of lifestyle, if this is terminal, let's live life to the fullest.
He's had a lot of things that he's been told, you can't do this and you can't do this. And biking and golfing has really opened that for him, to be able to just free his wings and just go for it.
About 2 years ago, I started mountain biking because my doctor cleared it. I think the extreme part of it, there might be something wrong with me, or just the thrill of just going downhill fast.
Primaries is like our timeshare on the hill. Every week we go there, and that's largely in part because of the amenities that are provided by Pennies by the Inch. The Xbox in the room, we video game and watch movies on those every single time we go. And to be able to do activities there is just honestly life-changing for us.
Thanks for donating to give kids like me a chance to have fun at the hospital.
And these kids are what these efforts are all about, raising money for Primary Children's Hospital. And we are so grateful for your donation as we continue to raise funds for Primary Children's.
You know, this has been fun. We've had a lot of different guests here throughout the show, different groups performing. You know, some of the favorite moments, I loved having J&J Garden Center here. He brought his grandson, his name is Ben, and when he presented me that check and I opened it up and it was $15,000 from his grandfather, I about fell over, you guys. He did didn't even know what was in that little envelope. And when he handed that to me, I honestly, like, it stole my heart. I was so grateful to see that check come in here. So thank you to Grandpa for sending that check in from J&J Garden Center. We appreciate that.
And it was really touching just to meet kids like Edison and Olivia, and just also to have mom and dad there and just talk about how they were wrapped in the arms of those folks there at Primary Children's Hospital. And it just means so much because they're part of this community now too. So, this donation, it really does go a long way.
And I've been in this area the whole time with the phone banks, and I've been able to talk to all the volunteers. They all have great stories. It's incredible how many people that you might not even notice are impacted by stories like this or at Primary Children's Hospital. Also in the same room, all of our radio stations are live. It is buzzing. You may have heard the cowbell that goes off. Yeah, we've been hearing that a lot.
We need more cowbell!
Yes, we do. Keep it going. It's just been incredible. I mean, the energy, it's all about let's celebrate. That's the motto, and we've definitely been doing that.
So many people volunteering. Once again, you see our volunteers at the phone bank. We want to thank you all so much.
You guys have been amazing.
Loves this afternoon. And we're going to keep going. We continue to raise money throughout the day for Primary Children's Hospital. And don't forget, we have a match too. Hyundai, they will match dollar for dollar. So whatever you can give, please do.
It gets doubled. Why not do it now? The final minutes of our broadcast. Might as well get that call in.
FM 100.3 right there. Of course, we've got 103.5 The Arrow, FM 100.3. We got KSL Sports over there. We've got so many people on the radio side of things taking your donation. That donation you can do at kslkids.com, 801-575-5437 or KSL Kids. Make that donation. Be a smile maker. Make a monthly donation, or you can make that donation and double it with the gift from Hyundai right now.
Okay, let's get a total.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get a total, shall we?
We've been going for 2 hours now. Let's do it.
Right.
Oh, wow. It's still going. Yes. Here we go.
Just over $164,000. Thank you so very much for your generous donation. We could not do this without you. For those of you at home, thank you so much. We appreciate the time it takes, just to pick up the phone and call and talk to these people. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Also, a big thank you to all of our guests. We had the Rise Up Children's Choir come in. We had, of course, the violins that came in today.
Amazing.
All the folks from the hospital, the dogs, the Wasatch Therapy dogs, the Intermountain Therapy dogs. So many families that came down today. So many thank yous to give.
On behalf of my colleagues here this afternoon and all of us here at KSL, we just want to thank you all so much. Again, we are not finished with this. We are going to continue to raise money throughout the day. But on behalf of Devin, Shara, and Tamara and myself, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your generous donation to Primary Children's Hospital.
Thank you.